Yeah! These guys are a super cool rattlesnake though. So I was cruising down this road and I saw something that I love. Hello everybody, today is July 3rd and we are out in the Great Plains of Colorado. There's a big storm to the north of us that's heading our way, but it is currently about 90 degrees in great conditions, so hopefully we will be able to turn some snakes up today. Well, here's this super menacing storm. And our first herp of the night, that is an Ornate Box Turtle. He is just peeking out at us. Usually you're pretty lucky if these guys will stick their head out enough to have a good look, but I think we're gonna get there today because look at that beautiful eye. But that is absolutely awesome. These guys are one of my favorite herps in the state, always will be. Absolutely lovely to see them here, and they can be kind of an indicator, at least up north when we see these. Typically we start seeing some snakes. That doesn't mean that that's the case for tonight, but it is good to see this guy out, and it is a little bit encouraging, at least in some areas. So I'm gonna take a couple quick photos and then we're gonna continue moving on. Come on, kiddo, let's bring you across the road here. Have a good life, kiddo. Another short walk up the road and we have yet another, whoa, whoa, whoa. Quit running from me, buddy. Hang on, let me get a look at you. Right now, come here. There is yet another Ornate Box Turtle. This one, quite the carapace on that guy. Beautiful face. These guys are awesome. The plastron, again, unbelievable. These guys are awesome. So privileged to live somewhere where we can see these all the time like this. And in some of the most pristine prairie habitat in the state of Colorado lives a beautiful little guy like this. As I was saying, he was booking pretty hard, so I'm just going to move him over here and release him back into the grassland. Third one of these for the night. Come on, buddy. Let's get you out. Yeah, grouchy. There's a truck coming. Be careful. Wow, they are everywhere tonight. That is yet another Ornate Box Turtle, number 4 in the last 15 or 20 minutes. I just escorted the last one off the road because just up the road from where we are now, there was 2 big trucks and they must have went right by this guy. So I'm really glad that they were conscious of the wildlife here and didn't run this guy over, because he's absolutely beautiful. He's getting grouchy with me for picking him up, but absolutely beautiful turtle here. The coolest part about these guys is that carapace there, the patterning on there is as unique as a fingerprint. You will never find 2 with the exact same markings, and that's really, really cool. Either way, I assume that we're going to see a ton of these guys out tonight, given that we've seen 4 in the last 15 minutes. So I'm just going to move this guy to the other side of the road and we're going to keep on rolling. See you later, buddy. Take it easy. First snake of the night. It's a Plains garter snake. Really chunky and really chubby one who's getting grouchy with us. These guys are awesome, and this one actually really nice looking. That checkering there on the sides, you don't always get, but wow, what a good looking snake. And they seem to be pretty nice out here for the most part. I'm just gonna, document this guy on my herp mapper, try my very best not to get pooped on by it. As you can see, it's already pooped on itself, and these guys do not smell too good, so always going to try not to get pooped on. But snakes are moving. I'm really glad to see this. The big storm is getting closer and closer by the minute, so I'm just going to log this guy real quick and we're going to keep on rolling. The temperatures have dropped 30 degrees in the last hour. That giant storm slammed right into us. The roads are soaking wet. That gives us a perfect excuse to run toad patrol tonight. There are some toads out here that I have not seen in a couple of years, namely Great Plains toads. They're really cool, not doing so well in Colorado, and this is one of the few places where they are still holding on strong, which is always great to see. I'm hoping to see some of those tonight now that the rains move through. Unless something divine happens in the next hour and the temperatures raise 10-20 degrees, we are not seeing any snakes tonight. But running toad patrol is one of my favorite things in the world. One garter snake is not great, but if we get 1 garter snake and 10 billion toads, I will be just happy. It's an unbelievable experience watching one of these massive, massive, massive thunderstorms move over the Great Plains like this. Look at all that lightning going on back there. That's absolutely unbelievable. First toad of the night is this beautiful, beautiful Plains Spadefoot toad. We saw a few of these this year up close to Denver, but this is a new county for this species for me. These guys are probably going to be pretty common tonight, so I'm just going to keep on rolling. Temperatures are still good, so there's it's a small chance, but there's a chance that snakes could still come out. A milk snake would be absolutely awesome, so here's to hoping that that happens, but we're just going to keep on rolling and turn up some more toads. As I predicted, the toads are out in force tonight. Probably another bombifrons. Yep, there is another Plains Spadefoot here out in the road. Check out how dilated those pupils are. That's awesome. Pretty variable. This one not as handsome as that last one, but still a welcome find. I'm going to log this on Herp Mapper. We're going to keep on rolling. Next toad of the night is yet another Plains Spadefoot toad. This one being the darkest in coloration that we've seen all night. These guys are really, really cool. Not something we see too often because we spend so much time in southeastern Colorado where the New Mexico Spadefoots kind of outcompete these guys. But a welcomed find. I'm sure that we're going to see tons and tons of these. The variation is really cool here. Anytime you get variation within a population like that, I kind of lose it and fall in love with looking for that variation. So I'm just gonna record this one and keep on rolling. This becomes the darkest Plains Spadefoot we've seen all night. That is really cool how variable these guys are. Generally speaking, toads and amphibians aren't really thought of as variable, but when you see this population here, they sure are variable. There's tons of different phenotypes and various expressions of that phenotype. It's absolutely amazing to see. So just gonna log this one and keep on rolling. This big beautiful guy right here is our biggest amphibian target for the night. This is a great plains toad of the Anaxarus species in Colorado. These guys are one of the more difficult ones. They're in decline through a lot of Colorado. They definitely prefer these pristine grasslands out here, which makes this a great area to look for them in. As you can see, they kind of look like the super common Woodhouse's toads that we've come so accustomed to this year, but a little bit different on the back there. There is no bold white stripe down the back on these guys that is present on the Woodhouse's toad and makes it really easy to tell them apart. As much as it is probably going to be the most miserable thing I'll ever do, I want to get some photos of this guy because I have not seen this species in like 4 or 5 years. I'm going to go do that. Toads are going to be moving late into the night, so for you to waste a little bit of time photographing this beautiful guy. I believe that this is Plains Spadefoot number 5, the smallest one that we've seen so far tonight. Cool looking at this size. They almost kind of look like green toads in a weird way on the... No, they don't. That was a stupid thing I just said. But yeah, this one is pretty little, maybe the size of a quarter. Nothing too crazy here, just gonna keep on rolling. Yet another bombifrons here. These guys are so cool. The roads are starting to dry up. Temperatures are actually holding pretty nicely. It's still 67, so kind of hoping we get some kind of snake crossing the road, but if it just ends up being these guys all night, I will be perfectly happy with that because they're so cool. What's up, Hoppy? Man, those things are so cool. And I will hear no Great Plains toad slander. That thing is awesome. I didn't get any photos of the last one on my phone because I was busy being dumb. But man, those things are so cool. The patterning on the back there, absolutely awesome. I mean, they're really similar to the Woodhouse's toads that we see so often, but they're just so cool. I mean, that patterning on the back, the size of these guys is really cool. That last one, the first one we got was really large. This one is just regular large, but absolutely awesome to see them. I'm anticipating seeing not a ton of these, but a good number since we've seen 2 in the last, so long. So I'm going to move this guy off the road as he steps forward to challenge us to battle, and we're going to keep on rolling. But these guys are one of my favorite toads in the state of Colorado. I haven't seen them in a really long time, so I'm absolutely ecstatic to see them. Just a little bit up the road is another one of these guys. I'm going to continue showing them just because I really like to see them, but we are going to make it a little short with these guys just because they have been so everywhere today. Alright, I'm kind of losing track with these guys because we're seeing so many, but here's another Plains Spadefoot. It's unbelievable how many of these guys are out, and I think I actually hear them calling nearby. Here is yet another Plains Spadefoot toad. So this is where we found that Plains Spadefoot, and less than a quarter mile up the road is presumably a Great Plains toad. Yep, another Great Plains toad. Those guys are so freaking cool. It's funny too, that's like the ugliest one we've seen all night, and it's still awesome. I'm gonna get some more photos because he's standing so proud. I love it. And we're gonna keep moving. My greatest goal for the rest of the night is to not fall asleep on the drive home. All right, everybody, happy 4th of July. I am currently here with my little brother. We're doing some road cruising. There was a real big storm today. Our first mans of the night is a Woodhouse's toad. These guys have been a pretty common sight this year, but this is a Woodhouse's toad, a young one that we just cruised up. A big rainstorm moved through this area a few hours ago. Ruined our lunch, but made for a great night of road cruising. Sun's not even down yet, so we're just gonna log this guy on my herp map wrap and keep on moving. All right, just another blep up the road, and we've got yet another Woodhouse's toad. These guys are probably gonna be fairly abundant through here. And there's another one. This one's quite a bit bigger than those last two. The last two were just a little bit bigger than a quarter, but that's my brother's hand. Probably about 4 inches. Now, maybe a couple inches across, but another Woodhouse's toad, just gonna keep on rolling. Alrighty, here's another one of these guys. This is our 4th of the night. He's pretty green. Usually they're not this colorful, but just another woody. We're gonna move him off the road, continue rolling down it. Maybe a quarter mile up the road, and yet another rather handsome Woodhouse's toad. Usually they're not this contrasty or colorful, but seems like this population is made up of some pretty handsome ones, so that's pretty cool. This is a new county for me for these guys. We saw a ton of these last night, but this is a new county for me for this Plains Spadefoot. If you look there on the back of his foot, that is why they're called a spadefoot. They use that little black thing there, like a little shovel, so they can dig. This would be Woodhouse's toad 6, 7, 8. We've seen a lot of them. This population does seem to have some pretty nice coloration, nicer than what I'm used to seeing, but awesome. No real big ones yet, which is unfortunate, but we're gonna keep on rolling and hopefully turn one up soon. I spent most of the night talking about how we probably wouldn't see any snakes, and we just road cruised a little line snake. Little is not a good way to put it at all, because that thing is giant. They got really cool bellies on him. He's got like a scar there on his belly or something. It's pretty weird, but I'm happy to escort this guy off the road. Similar to the earth snakes that you find out east, but these guys have way cooler bellies. These guys are also a real common snake in this area. It's no shock to see one, although it is like in the low 60s right now, so I did not think we were going to see one tonight, but that's super awesome. We're just going to release him after taking a little time to, log data on him and make sure that we enjoy him properly, and then we're going to release him and keep moving on our way. All right, buddy. Thank you for giving us at least one snake to enjoy tonight. All right, well, right here, Cameron is looking at Plains Spadefoot number 2 for the night. Check out those beautiful bulging eyes on him. Isn't that awesome? That is yet another Plains Spadefoot. What's that, 4 on the night?
Yep,
4 of them? That's a pretty good night for these guys. This isn't exactly the most common locale for these guys. They're not rare by any means, but this is definitely a cool place to see them. So just going to release this one and keep on rolling. All right, well, the tides seem to have switched because that is, what's this, number 5 right in a row? Our 5th Plains Spadefoot right in a row. This one possibly the biggest I've ever seen. That thing is large and real chubby. Toads are awesome. This video is going to do bad because there's not a ton of snakes in it, but that thing is so cool. All right, snake number 2 of the night is another line snake. This one is real close to where we found the last one. These guys are pretty cool. They're going to be super common through here, but what's nice about these guys is they are a favorite food for milk snakes, so a strong population of these may indicate that there's a lot of milks, which, as always, is my biggest target, so awesome to see. All right, just a wink away from the house, and we've got the biggest Plains Spadefoot of the night. These guys are so cool, but I think this is going to be the last one I show because I think this is probably number 20 or 30 for this video, and it's getting kind of oversaturated. Oh yeah, my favorite thing in the whole world, and it is a brilliant example from a new county for me. That, of course, is a Tiger Salamander. This is Cameron's very first ever. Awesome. He's so nice. I lost it when I saw him crossing the road, too. That thing is beautiful. He's big. Cameron's hyped. What an awesome creature. And what a great way to round off the night, too. Super, super cool. God, look at his perpetual smile. Look at the beautiful patterning on that guy. That's one of the nicer salamanders I've seen this year. I've probably said that about 1,000,000 times because I love every salamander so much, but God, look at that guy. Man, that thing is awesome. How do you feel, Cameron?
Cool. I've never seen Tiger Salamander.
Dude, aren't they the greatest animals that have ever lived ever? That thing, what a way to live. We get to do this. That is so, so awesome. This is, I mean, we see so many of these every year, and each and every one I'm blown away by because they are just so, so cool.
Shot.
That thing is so cool. He's so nice, too. Oh, man. That thing is immaculate. And he's big, and it's Cameron's lifer, and he matches Cameron's cool skater shirt. This is a great night, dude. I'm so glad we came out here. Hello, everybody. Today we are back out in the grasslands of eastern Colorado. Just like last weekend, we're going to be working on a research project that I'm helping out with at school. So basically what we're going to be doing, it's about 4 o'clock, 5 right now. We're going to survey for plains garters for a few hours, try and get some of those for this project. And then after the sun goes down, we're going to go road cruise for Massasaugas and some other snakes. So without any further ado, I'm going to head to where we're going to be herping today, and we're going to get started. About 20 minutes into herping today, and we have specimen number 328 here. This is a big male plains garter snake. Basically what we're doing out here is we're collecting data for a habitat partitioning study between wandering garter snakes and plains garter snakes. What I am doing out here is collecting GPS and other data on allopatric populations. That means that the species are not existing together and that there are only plains garter snakes here. So I have taken data, that being like the length and the temperature and its gender and how large the snake is. All right, well, this is my first specimen for this study, specimen 328. I have taken all the data that I need to take, so now I'm ready to release him back to where he was found. These guys are awesome. This one is particularly nice looking. Thank you for giving us data, buddy. We really appreciate it. All right, well, moving between study sites, we've got snake number 2. Come here. No! Alrighty, moving between study sites, and we have snake number 2 on the day. This is a eastern yellow-belly racer, one of our most common species in the state of Colorado. This one with a lot of white on his pattern there. Usually do not see them this light in coloration. This one is pretty large to have this much patterning. Usually I would expect it to start fading by now, but there's probably a little variation in there between the individuals within a population. That's, you know, when they start to lose that patterning. So awesome to document it. This guy's beautiful. I might break out the camera and take a few photos because he is really gorgeous, and I do love these snakes. So I'm just gonna do that, release him as always, and then we're gonna keep moving. I think shortly I'm gonna wrap up the plains garter snake studies. It's been about 2 hours now since I started with that, and then we are going to move over to where we're gonna be cruising for the night. Well, these have been no stranger the last few days. There is yet another ornate box turtle. This one is pretty little. I've actually never seen one this size before. They're so cute. I'm going to take a few moments just to photograph this guy right here in situ, and then we're going to keep rolling down the road. Maybe 5 minutes down the road, we've got another one of these guys. If I pick him up gently, he doesn't even tuck back in. What a beautiful turtle. These guys are so awesome. Just gonna move him over to the fence line. We're gonna keep on road cruising. That thing is looking threatening, but got another box turtle here who is warily checking me out. This one's not gonna emerge from his shell, I don't think. Oh, maybe. Come here, kiddo. Oh, very cranky. Come on, let's move you where you were going. Here you go, buddy. Run along. These guys are so cool. I absolutely love them. Said about everything I can possibly say about these guys over the last few days, seeing as this is, I believe, our 10th or so in the last 3 days, so just gonna do what I always do. See you later, kiddo. Have a good life. Well, here he is. I think this is number 6 for the night. Right here, it's actually a little after the sun goes down, which is, I think that makes this my first box turtle after the sun went down. But awesome. God, I love the eyes on these guys. Just look at that handsome face. Absolutely in love with this species, and I will never, ever, ever complain about seeing too many of them because they're just so cool. Such an icon of the grasslands, and just a charismatic reptile that I'm so happy to see. And this one's actually coming out and showing some face for us, which is always beautiful. So I'm just going to help him across the road, and we're going to continue rolling on. That is what we came to see. That is a western Massasauga. That's a really little one. I'm going to put my foot down near him. He can't bite me, but that's a really small one. These guys are one of my favorite snakes in the state of Colorado. Just such a strange little rattlesnake. Whoa! Watch it there, buddy. Just a weird species. They're very erratic. They're not quite like the Crotalus or Crotalus species that most rattlesnakes belong to that genus. This is Cistrurus, and they're a little different. You can see they don't rattle in the same way. They more just flick that tail around, and they're buggy little snakes. Awesome little snakes, but they're just so strange in comparison. So I'm going to get some photos of this guy because I have not seen a Massasauga this year yet, and then we will talk about him a little bit more and keep on moving. Alright, well, here's this little fella again. He was the worst for photos, and this is kind of an ugly backdrop anyways, so nothing too worrisome there. These guys are a super cool rattlesnake, though. They do differ in quite a few ways from the Crotalus species that we usually see. There are a number of differences in things like scalation. Behavior is a big one. The way these guys rattle the tail, as we've already kind of discussed, is drastically different from that of Crotalus. Crotalus usually just continue to rattle the tail. These guys, erratic little flicks. They also have an interesting behavior where they twitch their head as a defense mechanism. And then there's, some other differences like I mentioned, scalation, the size of the rattle, the size of the snake overall. Really interesting snakes here. One of my favorites in the state of Colorado, and one that unfortunately is not doing so well here. That's because of things like road fatality and habitat degradation and destruction. So this is definitely a pretty special place and one that needs to be respected and protected. With that, I am going to escort this little guy off the road. And we're going to keep on going. They're a pretty common snake through here, so I don't fully expect to see another one, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it either. Here we are about 20 minutes later with one of my new favorite amphibians in the state of Colorado, a great plains toad. We saw 3 of these the other day when we were out here. God, these things are just cool. Just that super ornate coloration there on the back. Their body shape is a little... Come here. I'm trying to tell people how beautiful you are, and you keep running away. These guys are just awesome. One of my new favorite amphibians in the state of Colorado. And as we talked about last time, one that is not doing so well everywhere in the state. So to see them so abundant out here, and almost really dominating the landscape the way Woodhouse's toads do closer to home, is really cool. What is he doing? He's trying to bury into the dirt here, but it's not going very well. Awesome. Well, I think I'm just going to leave him to this. We'll let him bury himself right there, and then we will continue road cruising. All right, well, as has been pretty customary the last few nights, here's a Plains Spadefoot that I just found out in the road. This one's pretty big, so I actually think I'm going to photograph this guy real quick. Things aren't moving quite as much as we would like, so I'm going to take some time to get some good photos of this guy, and then we'll keep on rolling. All right, everybody, so I was cruising down this road, and I saw something that I love sitting in the road. This is another milk snake. And there's another bite. This is not uncommon for a milk, but this is my 10th county. This is my first in this county here. Awesome, awesome stuff. It was one of those things where as soon as I saw it, I instantly knew what was waiting for me. I absolutely love this snake. The reds on this one are not as vivid as they normally are, but doesn't make it a bad snake. Still a great one, just a little different. Absolutely happy to see this guy. As per usual with milks, I'm going to take a bunch of time to photograph this guy. Milks in this county aren't exactly hard, but they're not... Here comes another bite, maybe? They're not exactly hard here, but they're not exactly easy. So I'm super happy to see this guy here. 10 counties. I don't know how many are to go. Probably more than 10. So we're doing pretty good for ourselves tonight. Only 2 snakes, but my favorite snake in the state right here in hand, and my favorite venomous snake in the state. can't complain about that. So I'm going to take some photos and we'll be right back. After struggling to photograph this snake, I am ready to release it. Awesome, awesome, beautiful milk snake. I would love to see this snake right after a shed. It would be twice, 3 times as stunning. But I am content to just release him on his way. It's getting kind of late, so I think this is probably going to be the last snake of the night unless something happens on the way out. It's, you know, right just a little bit after midnight, about 2 hours from home, so I'm going to release this guy and start heading back towards home, because, man, what a way to end the night, though. Cool milk snake in a new county, in a county that not too many show up from, too. Not a lot of people look for him out here, but I'm happy to be one of the ones that did. So we're going to release this guy and keep on moving.